Hello, everybody. Welcome to ICC's Game of the Week, with your host, as always, Joel Benjamin. The Millionaire Open returned for its second year stronger than ever, with world-class grandmaster Hikaru Nakamura taking the top spot over Quang Liem. Defending champion Wesley So did not quite make it to the Final Four this time, and he may have our feature game to blame. 23-year-old Azerbaijani GM Vasif Durarbayli looked to be a victim of an early knockout by So, but he was somehow able to hang around and eventually turn things in his favor, culminating in an intricate endgame. Let's have a look at all the twists and turns. So, a very minimalist name against the long-named Durarbayli, and it begins in flank fashion. And note that grandmasters, of course, can play c4 and move 1, but that allows e5. So if they don't feel like that, then often knight f3 comes first. And with the move b6, black is looking to head for a formation known as the hedgehog, which was very big back in the day, in the 80s when I was getting onto the international scene. And these days, it's not played quite so often. A little bit of that is fashion, I guess. White is conceded a little bit of a space advantage, but the idea is that black will place pieces harmoniously and work together, and white will have trouble breaching the position, and black can look for counterplay. Now, So plays, after d6, So plays rook e1, and this is a very a typical strategy that white is looking to push the pawn to e4 before playing d4. If white plays d4 right away, well, that's the other way to play it, that white can take with the queen, keep some pieces on the board. But if white takes with the knight and trades bishops, black usually has a fairly easy time in that position because white just doesn't have any genuine pressure. When you compare that to what So got in the game, you see a big difference. Rook e1. Now, position is often reached as well from Queen's Indian move orders, with instead of d6, black can have bishop e7 and then answer this rook e1 move with d5, and that could lead to an absolutely completely different kind of position. But if black wants to play the hedgehog, maybe Durarbayli's move order is not the best. He can play a6 here, e4, bishop e7, d4 takes. And you see, once this happened, now white starts threatening the move e5, opening up the bishops, and when black takes on g2, this e takes f6 intermezzo. So black wants to get in time to defend the bishop. That's why a6 is a priority, to keep knight b5 away. And this move order has been played before, even by Durarbayli himself and Magnus Carlsen and many others, and it leads to a typical position where white has space advantage, and but he can easily overreach and be vulnerable to a counterattack. Okay, so in the game, we saw knight bd7, e4, and rook c8. And this looks clever because it's a veiled attack on the c4 pawn. But Wesley So just starts with b3. It's very useful to defend that pawn in any case, and the bishop can come to b2 or even a3 in some cases. a6, d4, takes. And now black plays an extremely provocative move, g6. It basically ignores what seems to be a threat here, e5. Queen c7 has been played a couple of times here, but I just think that, as I said, it's not really a good move order for black because knight d5 looks very dangerous. And I think it's only been played once, but it looks like something that you don't really want to run into.